Smart contractors hire specialized team. Rank high on Google, hook better leads. Hookagency.com.
What up, y'all?
Hey.
It's Tim.
And Cody.
And we're talking about doing local rank tracking as part of our DIY series, our do-it-yourself SEO from scratch. This has been a great series. Essentially, we walked you through how to make your own WordPress website from scratch.
Yeah.
We talked about how to make content on that website in a way that attracts Google traffic. We've talked about making landing pages and getting links, about 5 different types of links. So go back and watch that whole series. You can check it out at hookagency.com/DIY. And Cody's here because there's a lot of new processes that we do for our clients that as a CEO, sometimes I'm not always a part of. And a lot of these are in our new tools. So yeah. I wanted somebody that actually knows what they're doing on this particular one to show it. So it's to be vulnerable. I haven't been doing this for a second, and I'm gonna let Cody show you.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, let's just jump right into it. We're going to be looking at 2 separate tools today. We're looking.
Can you introduce yourself? I don't normally introduce myself because most people know me, but you're not on social as much.
Yeah, I am not on social that much. My name is Cody Warren. I'm Hook's Chief of Operations. I get to work in the shadows behind Tim. He's visionary, leading, charging forward, laying track, and I'm making sure we keep everything on the rails and moving in the right direction. So I got to work very closely with our SEO team as we were kind of laying out what really are our most important KPIs for our SEO clients, and local rank is chief among them. I'm being able to say very specifically, hey, we have increased your rank in your local service area down to the zip code by X% over the last year, in addition to talking about actual lead flow and, the good old national keywords with blog traffic and all that. So
show them what we're working with here.
Yeah, let's dive on in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to start with a tool by Whitespark. It's called Local Rank Tracker. And what we're looking at here is traditional SEO rankings. It's not to be confused with the map pack or your Google business profile rank. So this is specifically a listing on Google for your website. And this is an example of a client situation that we already have up. We've been tracking for them for quite a while. So right now we're looking at all time, and we have it filtered down to a couple of cool things. I'm going to give you an overview of what this tool does, why it's cool, and then I'm going to branch into showing you how to set it up. So right now, this is a client who we've got over a year of data for, and we're looking very specifically, how are you ranking in your most important location? Down here, that's Indianapolis, Indiana. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. I like my stuff nice and small, and I know that might not work for everybody. And then also filtered down to the most important money-making keywords. And in this case, we've got roofing companies near me and roofing near me. And as you can see up at the top, lots of green. What does the green mean? Visibility score is the most important thing we're looking at. We're looking at what has actually moved onto the first page of Google with visibility score. So across all of these locations over the last year, they've moved from, 8% of the time they're on the first page of Google for these keywords in Indianapolis to 34%, which is a substantial increase, especially in such a competitive area. And then if we take a look over here on the right, this keywords, you'll see a 100% increase here. This is just measuring the average across everything on Google. So if you're just setting this up for yourself, visibility score is the main thing that I would focus on. You may see up and down increases and decreases on like the 8th page of Google, but it's not that substantial.
And you're doing it wrong if you're only tracking national keywords.
Correct.
And
yes.
So there's a kind of in my old school brain, when we were doing like SEO for everybody under the sun, national keywords were the thing we're obsessed with.
Yeah.
And now it's just all about local keywords. So the more obsessed you get with this stuff, the more likely you are to actually make money.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
This has dollar value tied directly to it. And the cool thing about this tool is we can actually explore the results and it'll pull up, hey, this is where we're actually ranking and showing up. And then we actually have the ability to view a live SERP if you hover over it. So this is going to pull up an actual page inside of Indianapolis, Indiana. 46227 is the zip code for roofing companies near me. And we can scroll down and actually see where we stack up against our competition. It has a couple other cool features in here. If you take the time to build it out, it does a competitor comparison. So you can actually look at where you're stacking up against select competitors. And then it'll break it down to like, hey, compare the keywords we're ranking for, where are we stacking up? And it'll also do a little bit of Google Business Profile stuff. We don't mess too much with Google Business Profile inside of Whitespark here. We use local Viking, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So the real question is, how can you go about setting this up? And if you're a small business owner out there who's maybe you're paying for SEO for somebody, or you're just really concerned about your local rank, this is extremely easy for you to set up. It does not require any expertise. All you need to know is what you're trying to show up for and where you're trying to serve. So their pricing, I have it pulled up here. You can get signed up for as low as $14 a month to get started here. And it'll give you very clear information about where you're ranking, what money-making search terms you are, or maybe aren't showing up for. There are a lot of agencies out there who focus on national rank exclusively. And if you're seeing, hey, we've got great national rank going on, but I don't feel like there's leads coming in and they're not talking about local rank, this is something I would strongly recommend you pull up for yourself. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you can check them out. It's whitespark.ca. They're a Canadian company, and they make it super easy to sign up. But we are going to go ahead and create a new campaign here for our Johnny Appleseed Tree Services company we've been working on for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and name it. We'll name it Johnny Appleseed Tree Services. Save and continue. And this is where it pulls us in. So first thing you're going to want to do over on the right here, because I always forget to do this before we set it live, we want to set the default to Google Organic. We want to uncheck Google Maps. Let's just leave Google Organic and Local Pack. The reason I would say uncheck Maps is because it's going to use additional, we have credits to crawl, and I'd rather just not spend it on Maps. I want it only to pull Google Organic and Local Pack, and then we'll use Local Viking for the map ranking. So once you've got that set up, we've got a couple things to do over here. Keywords is the most important thing, and there's two sections for them. I don't want to confuse you, but if we type in a keyword up here, this is going to be adding it to every single location we're trying to track for. If you want to track a specific keyword in a specific location, let's say tree services Eau Claire is the actual search term that you want to track, don't enter tree services Eau Claire up here. We just want to do tree service company, for example. If we wanted to add tree service company Eau Claire, we will do that down below in a second. So for this instance, I'm going to list out a couple. We got tree removal, tree service, tree trimming. So we'll just add those right now. Tree service, tree trimming. And again, I just want to make sure I'm being clear. General keywords up here, not adding a specific location. These are just service-based search terms. As we scroll down, tracking items here, this is going to be valuable for you if you have a Google Business Profile set up. And we do not actually have a Google Business Profile set up for this one right now. But if you did, it would be very simple. You just enter the business name of your Google Business Profile, the one that's actually listed there. You'd enter your website, and we can actually do that because we do have a website here. It's not going to yield the same result because we don't have, it's looking for the Google Business Profile. And then you can also add your phone number. As we scroll down, you can actually add competitors. So when I mentioned the competitor analysis over here, we entered in Bone Dry, Cochrane, and Stay Dry Roofing for this client. So I just pulled it up. Let's go ahead and enter one example of a competitor here. We got Eau Claire Tree Services. We'll roll with them, and we'll enter a competitor. Add a competitor.
It's interesting. It's such a small niche that we are going after with this, but there's like 5 exact match domain competitors on this one.
Yeah. Pull up their website quick. Go ahead and enter that in. And you just want to make sure you're pulling the information that's listed off of their Google business profile, because that is where that's what this tool is looking at for this. So we got their phone number, and good there. And you can go through and add as many competitors as you want. And now tracking locations down here, this is where you're going to start to actually define the service area that you're going to look at. So what I do is, and you probably already have a list, I just pull up the zip codes that we're trying to service. So 54701, 54702, and 54703 are the zip codes in Eau Claire. So we'll do 54701, add, and then 54702, add, and then, oh, excuse me, I was typing that in the keyword section. 54701 up the top. And then in keywords, this is where you can add that location specific search term. So we could say tree service Eau Claire. Add. And then go ahead and save that location. We did 54701. We'll add all the other two, 54702. And then do the last one, add location, 54703. Perfect. Save. So we've got those 3 locations. Your business, like I'm sure Johnny Appleseed, is serving a much larger area than just Eau Claire. I actually recommend you add all of those additional locations as well. But for the sake of getting this set up, that's the gist of it. If you were only serving Eau Claire, you could go ahead and add tree service Eau Claire up here because everything's already listed in it, but it's better to just segment it out. So once you've got all that set up, you can go ahead and click Save Changes, and then it's going to start crawling. And it's going to take about 24 hours for your thing to actually load. So the next morning, you can come back and actually check it out. The downside is it's not going to give you historical data. It's just going to start logging it right from the time you create it. So it does take some time for you to be able to accrue enough information to see a sort of trend and trajectory. But I want to take a little bit of time here and just walk you through some of the actual rankings down here and what you're looking at. So we have a couple cool features. Obviously, we can, I don't know if it's cool, but you can change the date range. So we just looked at all time. Now we're looking at last 30 days. So you can play around and see when you are actually decreasing and increasing in rank. And then as we scroll down, you'll see ranking. This is where you're currently sitting on Google, and you'll see change. How many positions you've moved up over the last set time period. So in this case, in the last 30 days, we've moved up 7 slots for roofing companies near me in Indianapolis. Super exciting. And then you can also click through and see which pages are ranking for it as well. And again, I think the coolest thing about this is actually being able to like one-to-one verify by checking out that live SERP, live Google results page, and scrolling down and being like, hey, look, I do actually exist here. This is real. I'm not just looking at some chart on a tool telling me, hey, I should be there, even though we're in Minnesota right now. I can see exactly where I rank for roofing companies near me in Indianapolis. So that's Whitespark Local Rank Tracker. This is a bread and butter tool for us. We're talking about it in all of our client reports. It's a key focal point for us. National keywords, as Tim said, there is a time and a place for them. They're really good at gauging overall trends and trajectory of an account. If we saw national keywords increasing and this may be plateauing a little bit, I'm going to look at that and be like, hey, our national keywords are moving up. I believe we're on the right track to see an increase here. So that's local.
A lot of times I check national just to get a tone.
Yeah.
So I was looking at Gens Ryan's recently. And I was like, that is an enormous uplift in traffic.
Yeah.
Does it often go hand in hand? Like if I'm looking at the Ahrefs and it's like, way up.
I would say national keywords is typically a leading indicator. This lags behind slightly.
Okay.
Especially if you've just initially started an SEO campaign with an agency, you're going to see those national keywords respond first. These local rankings, depending on your market, typically lag behind. If you're in a very competitive metropolitan area, this will take a little bit longer.
All right, good to know. Could we do the Google Map ranking rank track? And there's a bunch of different tools like these. We use a variety of them, but one that you can use is Local Viking.
Yeah.
So this is the maps portion. Two different things, right?
Yeah.
Let's show them how to set that up.
Yeah. Yeah. We use Local Viking. To be totally honest, like Tim said, there's a million different options for how to track map rankings. We like Local Viking because it's super easy and it's actually really affordable. So what we're going for, just so you know here, this is the meat and potatoes. We're going to give you a bubble map so you can see where specifically your Google business profile is ranking inside of your metro area. This is for one of our clients that we just pulled up. Actually, they're not even a client yet, but they wanted us to check and show them, hey, this is where you're actually ranking for roofing company, roof repair, roof replacement. And as you can see, there's a lot to be desired here, with roofing company being the leader there. So Local Viking, it's a little more expensive than Whitespark's local rank tracker. It's $39 for a single location. But again, if you're concerned about local rank and you're maybe working with an agency or just want to benchmark where you're at today, the $40 investment is totally worth it. The amount of credits that they're going to give you is more than enough for what you'll need. And it's actually wildly easy to set up and you get your results real quick. So let's do this. Do we have anybody live who we could do this with, like right now?
Yeah, I see 3 people on live or 6 people live. Sorry, 6 people live. So if one of you wants to comment below with your company name and we'll check out your rankings live.
Yeah.
One of you 6 wants us to do this, I'm sure. So comment below. Let's give them a second. In the meantime, why is it so important to track the map rankings?
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
It's a whole nother spot that you can rank on Google. Like if you're ranking in the traditional organic SEO, that's one spot. The map pack is another spot, and it actually gives you more priority. It has more social proof. It's going to show your review rating. It's got a click to call option. Visit your website. There's just a lot of ROI to be had from ranking in the map pack, especially for local businesses.
So the first person, Alpine Roofing, Miguel Chavez.
All right, Miguel, I'm going to pull it up here. Can you give me your address as well for the business? So how you're going to do it, once you get your Local Viking account set up, you're going to come up to the top and do GeoGrid search, and you're going to click New Config. And then this is where we're going to search for Alpine. Was it Alpine Roofing?
Yeah.
So Google search, I'm going to do Alpine Roofing, and then we're going to select from here. So we got Carlaw Avenue, Floyd Circle, Dallas, Texas, York Street, Denver, Colorado. Are any of these yours, good sir? Or which one is? Let's see here. Let me see if we can pull up the chat over here.
Sometimes these don't come up. Alpine Roofing Pro. So if you just check out the .com, sorry, just to get the address.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Okay, so if we scroll down, where's your address? Contact. Let's see.
I see some, yeah.
Washington. Oh, here we go. There we go. 216 Logoston Boulevard.
Richland.
Yeah, Richland, Washington. All right. Alpine Roofing. Logoston Boulevard. Here we go. All right, we got you. So once you have your profile set up, then you can come down and add the keywords. So we'll do some of the basic money-making ones that we like. We'll do roofing company. We'll do roof repair, roof replacement, roofing companies near me, and we'll do roof installation and maybe roof inspection. Go from there. And then let's see, let's zoom out. How competitive of a market are we in here? Okay, we'll make this guy nice and wide. So I always do a 13 by 13 grid. It just casts a wider net. It's more granular for us to be able to see. And we'll set it to miles. And then we'll go ahead and do just we'll do a 1 mile radius. So for context, this is a 13 by 13 mile square with each bubble right now representing a mile. If you serve a massive area, you can zoom it all the way out to 10 miles and just cover a huge area. In general, I try to keep it to like 1 to 3 miles, depending on the service area, just because there's such a heavy emphasis on your physical location for this. It's really going to be difficult for you to actually rank meaningfully that 100 miles away from your location, unless you're in an incredibly rural area. For this instance, we're going to select run on demand because I want the report to run right away. And then we're going to select local. But let's say you wanted to schedule this to be a recurring thing. You could do weekly, set the day of the week that you want, and then even choose the time of day that you would run it. But we're just going to do this one on demand. We're going to set it to local, and we're going to go from there. So we are about to see where this is coming from. So config was created successfully. It's going to take like 2 minutes for it to load up. But once you have it set up, you can come over here and select configs, and then we'll have Alpine Roofing. Let's see how quick it is. It looks like it's still going to be loading in here.
Talk about any other tips you have.
Yeah. So in terms of, I'll talk about how you can actually drive rank for your Google business profile and rank in the map pack while we're waiting for this guy to load. It'll take maybe like 3 minutes or so. But the main thing to make sure you have set up is that your business information that's listed on your Google business profile is correct. I know that sounds super basic, but Google's looking across the internet to see how many times your website and your business is listed. And if they see inconsistencies there, especially on your Google business profile and your website, it's going to be a problem. So you want to make sure your website's linked up correctly. Your business name is your legitimate business name that's represented everywhere else around the website and the internet. You want to make sure your primary category is set up. So in this case, it would be roofing contractor for Alpine Roofing here, and have all of that squared away. Once you've got your profile set up, you've got the foundation laid, the information's correct, then it really comes down to aggressively publishing photos of your team actually doing the work. Look at that.
Hey, dude.
You're killing it. You're doing a really good job. So this is, I want to make sure this actually pulled up Alpine real quick. We'll go here. It did. So roofing companies near me, you're in the top 3. And the important thing about being in the top 3 is that is the map pack. If you're not in the top 3, you're not showing up on the first page of Google. But for roofing companies near me, you are dominating your local area. Same thing for roofing company. Roof inspection looks like it hasn't totally loaded in yet. Roof installation as well, maybe getting a little bit more competitive down near Kennewick. Roof repair and roof replacement. So you're doing a really good job. If you were a client of ours, what we would do right now is we'd be like, hey, great, we're winning a lot right now in this area. Let's cast a wider net. Let's actually zoom out even further.
I think he's trying to be a client of ours, by the way.
If you're trying to be a client of ours
on this, yeah.
What we would do is we would have a meeting with you and say, hey, what is your actual service area, and cast that net as wide as possible. Because I guarantee you, if we zoomed out here to made this 3 miles, so 3 times the size, we'd start to see those edges start to taper off into the 20 plus, which is basically just not ranking like we'll see down here. So the last thing I want to say for this tool, when you look at it, because you're going to be like, oh, cool, what do all these bubbles mean? Green's good, I guess. We've got 3 metrics over here, and I'm going to zoom in: AGR, ATGR, and SOLV. This is a little bit in the weeds. It's not as intimidating as it sounds. I hate the way that they've set these up, but AGR is just average grid rank. It's taking all of the bubbles that are 20 or less and saying this is on average where you're ranking. ATGR in this case is exactly the same, because it's not, ATGR includes 20 plus. So let's say you were ranking on like position 50 for one of them. It'll still include it. Don't worry about those guys. Share of local voice, SOLV, is the moneymaker. This is saying what percentage of the time are you in the map pack on the first page of Google. And in this case, it's 89% of the time for you. So it's a really good spot.
If you're one of those top 3, it's pretty good for your business.
Extremely good for your business.
And there's a chance that some of this is a little bit more rural. So it's basically like creating more and more places.
Yeah.
That, you know, if you're working on this, it's more and more places that are ranking. I know you got something else you got to go to, so let's wrap this up. Like, what is the point of all this? how urgent should this be in their marketing stack.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go do this today. So as we just showed you how, watch this video, be on our YouTube.
Yeah.
And hookagency.com/DIY. And you can watch all these videos, but this will be the most recent one in our YouTube DIY playlist. Anything else that you think would give context to this and help other people in the future that watch this?
Yeah. Why we care about this, why we think this is so important specifically for you, is because as a business owner, this is a very low cost way of gauging very specifically how much value you're able to drive from Google right now. You can plug this in and see immediately where you're ranking. For Whitespark, it will take a day, but you'll see very clearly where you're ranking, where you're not, and that can inform your marketing decisions moving forward.
And usually you want to, I'm of the mind, you want to double down on what's working.
Yeah.
And then start expanding to, let's say, additional keywords if they aren't doing well.
Yeah.
But there's two things here, just to recap. There's the local rank tracker and the normal Google listing. And then there's the map rank tracker, which is the thing we're looking at now with the grid. Both of them are important.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, people click both of those a lot.
Yeah.
And it's good to be on as many places as possible on that SERP. And even if you're doing local service ads, even if you're doing Google ads, we want to be in as many places as possible. And over time to allow to offset some of your ad costs by doing some of this organic stuff that's like a longer term investment.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
Appreciate you being part of it. Cody, thank you for helping drive value in our process. And let's pull this off for a second. Thank you everyone for watching. And this is going to be probably, and I might do another one in the future, but this is probably going to be our last video in the DIY SEO series. From absolute scratch to building a website on a WordPress theme. I talked to you about how to do that. I showed you how to build it out, how to build out content, how to build out local landing pages, how to show you links. And why do we do that?
Why do we do that? Own your own marketing.
Yeah, we want you to own your marketing and we want you to feel confident. So you can, if you don't do it yourself, because a lot of people say to me like, Tim, I'm just so happy that we have somebody who is taking care of this and I trust them because I have too many things to worry about in my business. I got to worry about leadership. I got to worry about sales. I got to worry about making a company. And so it's nice to have a partner on this stuff, but also to be able to gauge the level of effort. Once you understand what it is, SEO is basically content and links are two of the major things. And yes, there's some technical optimization. You want to fill out that Google business profile comprehensively. You want to post on it regularly, but we're trying to make it simpler so that people can gauge the level of effort. And when they work with us, they're actually going to be a better partner. They're going to be a better client because they actually understand what's going on. Yeah. So that's part of why we're trying to be as transparent as we possibly can. And we think that that's actually different than a lot of marketing agencies. Yeah. And so 100%. As opposed to a black box where they're just like, hey, we have secret sauce. Don't worry, it's a proprietary thing. We're actually trying to show you everything and how to do things so that you know what you're paying for. And we believe that will build trust with you, our customers, and with you, our prospects, and allow you to make better decisions with your marketing money because we have a golden rule pledge to try to do what we would want done with our money with your money. So we're trying to do the best possible things. And I hope you guys have a good one. It's really nice to do this whole series with you over this last year. Like I said, it was about 6 months into that SEO process where we got 5 calls in one day for tree services in Eau Claire. Yes, we're not going to set up a Google business profile, which would be a major help. But we did as much as we could without, doing like, I don't want to like actually rank in the map pack for this fake business. So that's why I didn't go that far. But nonetheless, we got leads. You will get leads too if you do all this to a T. And even better, hire a Google specialized team like Hook Agency and get it taken care of from somebody that you trust, that's somebody that's being open, that's somebody that's being transparent. Yeah. And we'll continue to level up our process. We get better all the time. And I appreciate you guys for being on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Smart contractors, hire specialized team. Rank high on Google, hook better leads. Hook agency.com.